Hey, good morning. How about the news? Tell na. So let's hope it does not escalate further. So एक चुटकी सिंदूर की कीमत तुम क्या जानो, रमेश बाबू. So you remember? It's a smart name, I would say, and it is just like Gandhi movement that salt connects everyone, sindoor connects everyone. So, so now we'll be on in our old stuff. So what was the last thing? I think Alauddin Khilji's. Okay. So his terror camps were not hit then. So now his initiatives we'll talk about. Okay. So last day, what we discussed about that Alauddin Khilji's campaigns in Rajasthan part, but then we haven't touched upon the area of South India that he has led those campaigns to South India. So actually, Alauddin's South Indian campaigns were led by his general, whose name we discussed last day, Malik Kafur. Then, so Malik Kafur led the South Indian campaigns. Moreover, understand that there is a very unique information about it. He was victorious. He was almost going in each of the part of the South India. He defeated the people, but he did not capture the area. This is unusual. It is just because of some suggestion, or you can say that his astrologer, in whom he believed a lot, has told him that if you go on rampage and if you annex the areas beyond this limit, so you would not be surviving then. And even he also had an intention of becoming a universal emperor, but then this intention would cut short by his astrologer then. And he used to believe, though Alauddin was not religious at all, and he does not I चलो एक word discuss करूंगा, ठीक है. There is a word which is used in the Islamic world, that is Darul Harab and Darul Islam. Then, so what is Darul Islam is basically that those who are from Islamic world but they follow the Islamic tenets. Okay, Islamic tenets are basically the Shariat, and those who are Darul Harb, they do not accept the supremacy of the caliphate. Okay, they do not accept the supremacy of any religious institution of the Islam, and sometimes they try to say themselves that I am the biggest in the Islam. So there are countries who are also divided according to it, Darul Harab and Darul Islam. And in fact, there was a time, Akbar abhi padha nahi hai, fir bhi I'll tell you, theek hai, that Akbar was often blamed that you are not Darul Islam, you are Darul Harab. Then, though he was not Darul Harab, he was Darul Islam, but one time he got so frustrated with these accusations that he said that believe whatever you want to believe. If you believe I am Darul Harab, I am. Then it is up to you. So this is a statement. Then he was that Alauddin Khilji, he was also like this only. Then he did not accepted anybody's supremacy. He considered himself to be supreme, and he himself, I told you last day, he wanted to establish his own religion also. Though he did not went ahead with creating the new religion, but then he wanted to do that. So after this point, he made it a point that he will be invading the area, subjugating them, then but not annexing the areas. So Malik Kafur led his campaign once again with Devgiri. Devgiri is the earliest, that is Aurangabad or Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar now. So after in Devgiri, once again Ramachandra Yadav is defeated, and then he got a promise from the Ramachandra Yadav that on a regular basis, on annual basis, he will be sending tributes to Alauddin Khilji. And he also married one of the daughter of the Ramachandra Yadav, Jhapali. Then after, he has attacked on the area of the Warangal. Then Warangal was ruled by Kakatiyas. And Kakatiya kingdom is existing from the 11th century AD and till 1324 it was there. So Kakatiya, in today's time, Kakatiyas we can identify with the entire Telangana. So the last ruler of the Kakatiya was Pratap Rudra II. He was the son of Rudrama Devi, and Pratap Rudra II, when got defeated, so he is the one who presented Kohinoor to Alauddin. Then, and I think once again there is a news. Britain has agreed that it will be giving back Kohinoor to India. Then, so there might be some question about this related to it. Maybe not this year, next year, whatever. So Kohinoor was gifted to him by that Pratap Rudra II, and it was original possession of the Kakatiyas. And this diamond, once it was found, so it was the largest piece of diamond in the world. Now it is no more. There are, I think, the largest piece of diamond name in today's time is Cullinan diamond, which is from South Africa, and second largest is अभी हाल फिलहाल में मिला था कहाँ से अभी इसी ईयर 2024 में याद नहीं होगा न्यूज बोत्सवाना से ठीक है so it comes under top 5 but when it was there it was closer to 800 something carats. Now it is 186. So over the period what they have done that they have cut the diamond into small pieces. So that is Warangal episode. After Warangal, he has attacked on the Hoysalas. Hoysalas were the rulers of the Dwarasamudra, and Dwarasamudra is the area which starts from Bangalore से थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ो coastal area की तरफ. The district is Hassan, and from Hassan, Chikmagalur and Kurg. That is the area of the Dwarasamudra, or mostly it is going up to the Mangalore. So this area was attacked, and once again here some destruction also happened, but they also, Hoysalas also promised that they will be paying tributes to the Alauddin Khilji. Then after the last attack was the Mabar. Mabar is basically not Malabar. कंफ्यूज नहीं होना कि मबार इज बेसिकली मदुरई के नीचे का एरिया गोइंग टिल द कन्याकुमारी एंड सो दैट पार्ट वाज वंस अटैक्ड एंड देन Pandyas were still existing, so Pandyas were defeated. Pandyas also promised that they will be giving the tribute. So there was no annexation in the South India. It was just an invasion and then some sort of tribute Alauddin Khilji would be getting. So after these campaigns, Alauddin by 1316 he was quite ill. He was not keeping well, and then he died. But then the person who took care of Alauddin was in reality was Malik Kafur, not any of the queens of Alauddin, but it was Malik Kafur. And even after death of the Alauddin, it is Malik Kafur who made sure that sons of the Alauddin who are just minors, they will be appointed as the next king. So he appointed Mubarak Shah to the throne, and then after Khusro Khan. So these were the two rulers, that they were the sons of the Alauddin. But when Khusro Khan was the ruler, so that is the time Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was one of the general of the Khiljis. And Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, that they all created a plan that if at all Tughlaqs have to come to power, first Malik Kafur has to be eliminated. So Malik Kafur was brutally killed. So Tughlaqs are known for the brutalities. Then extreme brutalities, and it starts with the Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and it reaches to a very extreme level when Muhammad bin Tughlaq is coming. So Malik Kafur was cut into 1,000 pieces and his body was thrown in each and every part of the Delhi Sultanate. Then, so just to send a message. And then after Khusro Khan was also killed, and then Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq came to power. But before moving ahead with this part, I just want to tell you that Nizamuddin Aulia's episode कल्चर में थोड़ा बताया है मैंने, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे भी जस्ट आई विल रिवाइज. Khusro Khan, when he came to power, so what happened that he gave 50,000 tankas. Tankas is the silver coin. 50,000 tankas to Nizamuddin Aulia to help the poor who are in Delhi. Now Nizamuddin Aulia, he distributed among the poor of Delhi, then those who came to Aulia, and he distributed among them. After killing of Khusro Khan, when Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq came to power, he demanded this 50,000 tankas from Nizamuddin Aulia, that you return back this 50,000 tankas. So Aulia refused to give. He said that I have already distributed among the poor, and originally the money belonged to the poor only. So how come it is yours? It is not yours. So then he said that I am going to Bengal campaign, and by the time I'm returning, if you do not submit that money, give that money, so then entire Gyaspur area, what is Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia Dargah right now, that was called as Gyaspur area. So entire Gyaspur area would be wiped out. Then, so he threatened him, and then Nizamuddin Aulia also threatened him. Okay? He said that go and do whatever you do, and remember my words that Delhi dur haste. Right? So you'll never be able to return back to Delhi. And exactly same thing happened. खुर्जा पता है यूपी में, जहाँ पे कटलरी ये सब सारे जितने इंडिया का बोन चाइना बनता है. So that खुर्जा was the place, खुर्जा से थोड़ा सा आगे पे, that son of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, has created a big wooden platform. I'll tell you the story of that part. And then at that wooden platform only, the death of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq has happened. So the prophecy of the Nizamuddin Auliya proved to be true. So we'll write this part later on then. So over here, this is all about the Alauddin's part, but his initiatives we need to understand one by one. So pehle campaigns likh lo, then we'll go into initiatives. Then, so what was the last line? I will have a look. यहाँ तक है, ये रणथंबोर तक है, ठीक है. तो आगे लिखो दैट की Alauddin's South Indian campaign was led by his general Malik Kafur. Then Prabhat has it is sharing. So UK will not give entirely. UK will share Kohinoor with India. अब sharing क्या होगा? तो have I told you the curse of Kohinoor? You remember ना? मुझे लगता है ऐसे ही किसी को दिया जाएगा, ठीक है? तो फिर काम तमाम होने के बाद फिर return back to Camellia. So mention led by Malik Kafur. Then you write Malik Kafur invaded. Just एक minute. Mention Devagiri ruled by Yadava dynasty. Wैसे in general people that majority of us are North Indians then, so we consider कि Yadavas are in UP and Haryana, ठीक है? This is Yadavas are there in Telangana also, so as in Goa also, so as in Maharashtra also. And who are these Yadavas? They are the Yaduvansis. कुछ बताओगे मुझे? What is Yaduvansi? Lord Krishna, ठीक है? So sons of the Lord Krishna, as per the mythology, as per the history, that they got distributed in the different parts of India. Even there are the Yadavas of Yaduvansis are there in the Kerala also, in the area of the Guruvayur. Then, so sons of the Lord Krishna, they got distributed into different parts of country, and then they created their own dynasties over there. So, for example, there is a Yadava dynasty of that Goa. ठीक है, and they are called as Yadavas of Haihaya, ठीक है, बड़ा different नाम है. So see that obviously history थोड़ा इतना deep जानने की जरूरत तो नहीं मुझे लगती है, लेकिन फिर भी. So they were the lineage of the Lord Krishna. So what you have written, Devgiri of the Yadava dynasty. Then mention पहला line क्या था? What was the first line? Led by Malik Kafur, and he invaded Devgiri of Yadava dynasty. Then you write Warangal of Kakatiya dynasty. फिर द्वार समुद्र of Hoysala dynasty. And Mabar of Pandyas. Fine. Mabar of Pandyas. फिर आगे लिखो, मेंशन करो. All these dynasties promised promised that they will be paying regular tribute. They will be paying regular tribute to Alauddin. They will be paying regular tribute to Alauddin. Fine. Then mention after it regular tribute to Alauddin. Full stop. Ruler of Kakatiya dynasty. Ruler of Kakatiya dynasty. Pratap Rudra II. Pratap Rudra II. Second, gifted Kohinoor diamond. Gifted Kohinoor diamond to Alauddin. Kohinoor diamond to Alauddin. Fine. So that's about this part. Then mention in 1316. In 1316, Alauddin died due to severe illness. Alauddin died due to severe illness. After which Malik Kafur made sure that Alauddin's sons must be appointed to the throne. Must be appointed to the throne. Fine. Then mention. Initially, Mubarak Shah was appointed. As Sultan, followed by Khusro Khan. Khusro Khan. Fine. One of the general of Khiljis, Gyasuddin Tughlaq. One of the general of Khiljis, Gyasuddin Tughlaq, eliminated last Khilji ruler, and founded Tughlaq dynasty in Delhi Sultanate. Fine. So that is about this political part. Write a title, Initiatives of Alauddin Khilji. So mention initiatives of Alauddin Khilji. So as I mentioned to you that Alauddin was called as master of the market reform. Master of the market reform just because of the good initiative, efficient initiatives that he took. So let's start with the first one. That first of all, he divided markets into three categories then, and these markets were, so there was a separate market for the food grains then, and those food grains, vegetables, these all perishable food material. Then apart from it, second market was dedicated to clothing and apparel, and third market was slave trade and animal trade then. So these three markets were there. Separate officers were appointed for all the three markets, and it was kept under a very tight surveillance. Apart from it, related to market itself then, that there was a curb on hoarding. I hope you understand what is hoarding. People hoard so that होल्ड सपोज अनियंस है, ठीक है, अभी प्राइसेस कम है तो रख लिया, ठीक है, प्राइसेस हाई हो गए तो फिर रिलीज कर दिया, तो होर्डिंग. सो ही पुट अ कर्ब ऑन द होर्डिंग. Then apart from it, interesting part is that all the essential commodities, all the essential commodities, their prices were fixed centrally. Then, so their prices were fixed centrally. Now, the reason is that is what is essential commodity? Wheat, rice, pulses, oil. Then, so these items, then their prices were fixed centrally. Nobody can change the price. Suppose that if rice is at 10 rupees kg, so nobody can change it. Then, so obviously it is going to benefit the normal public also, that if the prices are fixed centrally, there is no fluctuation, there is no inflation in that. In other words, then so then obviously the public will benefit. But actual idea behind it give the benefit to the soldiers of the Alauddin Khilji. So Alauddin has large number of the soldiers and the officers in his army, and a good chunk of the foreign origin officers were also there. So Alauddin did not wanted to raise their salaries because his army was big. It will be a good enough amount when he is raising the salary. So what he did, that he decided to he decided that their life living cost must not increase, inflation must not increase. So whatever salary they are getting, it will be comfortable for them to buy the regular stuff. Then, so this was the idea. So he wanted to give this benefit to his soldiers, his army personals, but it equally benefited the normal public. Then apart from it, Alauddin also led a campaign of standardization of the weights and measures. Then this is very important. What is standardization of weights and measures? That you are going to a shop, suppose you are going to buy sugar, then and in suppose you want to buy 1 kg चीनी, ठीक है, but then that I am showing that कि ये 1 kg का weight है, ठीक है, but it is actually 800 grams. So instead of, तुम्हें तो दिख रहा है कि ये 1 kg लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है, but it is not 1 kg, it is 800 grams, and what you got, you paid for 1 kg sugar and you got 800 gram sugar. So it means हिंदी में एक वर्ड यूज होता है, बट्टा मार लेना, ठीक है. सुना है, कुछ लोगों ने सुना. व्हाट इज इट, कि कुछ पार्ट उसमें से निकाल देना so that it seems to you. And what is measures? Suppose you are going to purchase a साड़ी of 5 meter, ठीक है, and instead of 5 meter what have been given to you 4.5 meters, बट वो जो उनके पास मेजर करने वाला है उससे वो दिखा रहे हैं कि ये 5 मीटर है, बट 5 मीटर है नहीं. देन so this was one of the corruption, or you can say that one of the practice which was very prevalent. Almost 30 to 40% people were indulged in it. So Alauddin made a surprise check in the market. Everything was checked, and if anybody is found flouting the norms, so then their hands were cut. Then immediate justice was there, their hands were cut. So there was a terror of this, so good terror to have. Then so now he standardized weights and measures. Then उसके अलावा एक क्वेश्चन था प्रीलिम्स में, आई थिंक 2015 से 18 के बीच में था कभी, that it was Alauddin who used the services of the Banjara community for the distance trade. So Banjara community is basically the community which is nomadic, the community which is always on the move, and they are always on the move along with their ponies. Then so ponies को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हो, खच्चर, ठीक है, तो उस पे वो खच्चर पे पूरा सामान उस पे भर देते हैं, एंड देन दे ट्रेवल विद इट. सो ही यूज्ड द सर्विसेज ऑफ द बंजारा कम्युनिटी टू एस्टैब्लिश डिस्टेंस ट्रेड फ्रॉम वन पार्ट ऑफ country to other part of the country. In fact, these khachars were very good at navigating through the Thar desert also, not only the camels but also the ponies. Then apart from it, these all I mentioned. Then hoarding also I have mentioned, standardization of weights and measures. एक और कोई initiatives है, I'll let you know. हाँ, related to agriculture. So Alauddin happened to be the first person, ठीक है, in Delhi Sultanate who started to impose taxes after measuring land. So he started the practice of measuring land, and then after the taxes were imposed. So mention करो. Alauddin is often referred as master of market reform. Master of market reform. Fine. Then mention master of market reform. He took following initiatives. So mention Number one, he divided market into three categories. He divided market into three categories. That is, market for food items, market for food items. Number two, market for clothing and footwear, market for clothing and footwear. And third, market for animal trade and slave trade. Animal trade and slave trade. Fine? Animal trade and slave trade. And in charge of market was appointed, उसी point में लिखना, and in charge of market was appointed, known as Sehna a Mandi. In charge of market was appointed, known as Sehna a Mandi. So he was in charge of all the market. इसके अलावा there were intelligence officer who were appointed to look into the anomalies which are happening in the market. So not other activity, but market intelligence officer was called as Barid. Okay? So you write that market intelligence officer Barids were also appointed. Market intelligence officers Barids were also appointed. Barids were also appointed. Fine. Then going further, Sehna Mandi Barid आगे लिखो. Next point. He curbed the hoarding activities. He curbed the hoarding activities of shopkeepers. Hoarding activities of shopkeepers. Fine. Then next. He standardized all the weights and measures. All the weights and measures. Anyone who was found flouting with the norms was given severe punishment. Fine. Severe punishment. Then next you write, he centrally fixed the prices of essential commodities so that life living cost of his army officers and soldiers does not increases. Fine. Then mention, he used the services of Banjara community. He used the services of Banjara community for long distance trade. Then then mention long distance trade, full stop. एक और मुझे डिस्कशन में रखना था, I'll tell you, हाँ. So that is related to Hulia system and the Chehra system. Understand that Alauddin, those were the time that spying activities were very high. So to keep his army, okay, to keep his army away from any kind of spying activity by the enemies, he started a system which is called as Chehra or Hulia system. Under this system, the biometric details of his soldiers were written and recorded in a register. Then, so how the eyes look like, even sketches were also created, that how the face look like, what is the hair color, if there is a spot on the body, then so everything then was written down. So kind of you can say that in today's time we have Aadhaar where we have the biometric details. So that was Alauddin's Aadhaar of that time. Then he started Dag system. What is Dag system? It was for the branding of the horses. Then so that horses are a big part of the military, and battles cannot be fought without the horses because they provide swiftness to the army. So if a horse is not healthy, so he will not be an asset, he will be a kind of a, as you know, burden in the on the army. So to brand the health of the horses, he started Dag system. So health of the horses, how fast they can run, how well they are, how healthy they are. So branding was happening, and this branding was a kind of a star marking. Okay, so 5-star horses very healthy, 4-star healthy, okay, 3-star average. Then and accordingly the payment was made. So suppose I'm keeping 5-star horses, then so then it means that I will be getting more payment. If somebody is keeping 4-star horses, so they will be getting lesser payment. So this is the system also he started. So mention करो, इसको भी लिखो that बंजारा लिखा ना अभी तो एग्रीकल्चर वाला लास्ट में लिखेंगे, पहले लिखो that Alauddin started हुलिया और चेहरा सिस्टम, हुलिया और चेहरा सिस्टम to note down the biometric details, of his military personals, biometric details of his military personals, so as to avoid spying activity. Fine. Then next you write after it. He also started Dag system for branding of horses. Dag system for branding of horses. Fine. Then mention next point. He happened to be the first Delhi Sultan. Who started the practice of measuring land. Before imposing taxes. Fine. Before imposing taxes. Then so वो जो हमने लिखा ना कि he was fixing the prices of the essential commodities centrally, it can be said. मैंने एक debate देखा था on Rajya Sabha TV itself way back. So they said that what we consider MSP today, okay, its beginning can be seen in the initiatives of the Alauddin Khilji, where the things were centrally fixed. And so his market policy was effective, and at least that the Delhi Sultanate public in and around Delhi, they were in a comfortable space as far as their income and livelihood was concerned. Then, but Tughlaqs ruined everything. Okay? Not only the livelihood, but it brought more of a kind of a violent activity and terror and fear in the society. And Tughlaqs ruled for a very long duration, coming to the power in 1320 and going till 1414. So 94 years they were in the power. So let's begin with the Tughlaqs. You write Tughlaq dynasty. Then, so Tughlaq dynasty, as we mentioned, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq established it by killing the last ruler. So then what we mentioned that he threatened Nizamuddin earlier that by the time he's returning from the Bengal, he will have to vacate the area, otherwise the entire Gyaspur would be wiped out. So he returned back. And Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq's eldest son, he was also accompanying him to Bengal. So he had a grand success in Bengal. And why always Bengal was important for Delhi Sultanate ruler? Because of the richness of the area and moreover elephants. Then that they often used to get the elephants from Assam and Bengal. Then so in this fight against the Bengal, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq has received a hell lot of elephants. Then he received war booty and so as elephant. Now when he is returning, so his other son, who is not the eldest, his name is Jona Khan. Later on he'll be known as MBT, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So he created a very large wooden platform where I said to you closer to Khurja. Then so very large wooden platform to welcome the winning army. And once the winning army mounted on the platform, including the elephants, then this was deliberately made weak so that if the elephants are mounting, so it will collapse. And exactly same thing happened that the wooden platform collapsed, in which GST died. Then Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq died. So I say GST because this is a reform that government also have to see. So then Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq's death happened. So as his eldest son also died. And now on Hindi में बोलूँगा कि that कि दिल्ली सल्तनत के रंगमंच पे ठीक है एक नया प्लेयर आया and that is Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who was most unique, most bizarre, most bipolar, everything you can think about. Then so Muhammad bin Tughlaq has come to the cinematic front, and then his tenure is more of ups and downs, turns and twists. Everything is there. Then he was short-tempered. He was good. Sometimes he was so good. Sometimes he was so intermixing. Okay? But one of the attribute of Muhammad bin Tughlaq that he loved sadistic pleasure. Then what is sadistic pleasure? That seeing the pain of others you enjoy. Then so and what kind of pain? Death pain. So he was notorious for experimenting with the death penalties. For example, that he was not satisfied that death penalty would be like hanging till death. Then he did not enjoy it. He used to sit in those judgments and used to prescribe the different type of punishments. So for example, suppose that if 5-6 people, they have done some theft or robbery, then so what will happen to them before killing them? All of them will sewn together. सबको एक साल सिल दिया जाता था. Then and then they were hacked to death. Suppose that if somebody has a bad eye on her, or somebody is kind of doing this, that running after the girls and the women, ठीक है, have bad eyes on them. So वो एक मूवी का डायलॉग है ना, बॉलीवुड में आंखें निकाल के गोटियां खेलूंगा, तो he used to eyes were scooped out. Then another death punishment was that that metals were melted and poured into the mouth. ठीक है, फिर उसके अलावा hooks were pierced into stomach and it was pulled apart. Then so he loved these all things. If Game of Thrones dekha hoga, तो you must have seen Joffrey's way of giving the death punishment. So it's exactly like the same. I think ये यूरोप वाले इंस्पायर हमारे यहाँ की कहानियों से हुए होंगे. So that's how. So he experiments with the death punishment, but he was also a learned man. So he was a learned personality who has expertise in mathematics, astrology, astronomy, and so has many other languages also. His biggest weakness was he was highly short-tempered. It's not like that he was always bad. He often used to go to all of a sudden, he is going to the house of the Hindu celebrating Diwali also, ठीक है, having food in their houses just like opposition leader do, ठीक है. So that he was intermixing, ठीक है, but uh, same point of time, very very short tempered. If somebody says something to him, then and if he finds out, so then he will go to an extent nobody can imagine. So there is a one instance, one of the cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, then he was not, obviously that he knew that he's not a right person to be on the throne, and he wanted to usurp the position. So he started to configure a plan to remove Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Somehow Muhammad bin Tughlaq figured it out that there is a plan to remove him, and then after he has given one of the worst punishment to his cousin. What was the punishment? First, his entire family was invited, his that wife, his children, his parents, everyone. And then after, in front of them, his cousin was skinned alive. Then after he was skinned alive, then after he was cut into 1,000 pieces, and those pieces were cooked into biryani, and his family was forced to feed it. Right? So this is something, okay? So he was brutal in this regard, and it is as it is written in the books that everybody fainted. Obviously, how come everybody will be able to see it? Then so everybody fainted, and it was served to, that biryani was served to elephants. Elephants threw it. Then so that was Muhammad bin Tughlaq. But Muhammad bin Tughlaq is also known for his many experiments. In majority of them, he failed, and why he failed, we will figure out. So mention karo, right? That after the establishment of Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq led a campaign to Bengal. Mention. From Bengal, he received huge war booty. From Bengal, he received huge war booty and large number of elephants. Full stop. Ghiyasuddin did not shared cordial relation. Ghiyasuddin did not shared cordial relation with Sufi saint of Delhi, Nizamuddin Aulia. Sufi saint of Delhi, Nizamuddin Aulia. Nizamuddin Aulia. Nizamuddin Aulia. Fine. Once he threatened Aulia, on which Aulia said to him, Delhi dur haste. In brackets you write, Delhi will not be under your control. Delhi would not be under your control. Fine. Then mention. Later, this prophecy proved to be true. Then अब पैराग्राफ चेंज करको लिखो कि how this prophecy proved to be true. So mention When Ghiyasuddin returned from Bengal, when Ghiyasuddin returned from Bengal, one of his son, Jona Khan, created a large wooden platform. One of his son, Jona Khan, created a large wooden platform just before Delhi, to welcome the winning army. To welcome the winning army. Welcome the winning army. Full stop. When Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, GST short form लिख लो, ठीक है? Not for fun, but then पूरा लिखने में time जाता है. So when GST along with elephants, mounted on the platform, it collapsed. It collapsed. And which further led to death of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, GST. Write a title, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1324 to 1351. और इसमें लिखो Jona Khan ascended to the throne. Jona Khan ascended to the throne with the title Muhammad bin Tughlaq. With the title Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Full stop. He was a learned personality. But also the man of contradictions. Though he was intermixing with the people of other communities, but he was also highly short-tempered. Fine. Then mention. He was notorious for his experiments in death penalty. He often experimented with death sentences, and extreme type of death penalties were given. Fine. So now that is the just initial part of his life, but as we know that he is known for many initiatives and these initiatives failed then. So some of them were successful, but not all of them. So one by one, let's have a discussion on it, that initiatives of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq in which he failed, and then after we'll talk about the other initiatives. And one more thing, that experiments failed, but it does not mean that they were not intelligent. Some of them were quite intelligent. Very first is that he thought that the area which is closer to the river belt, or Doab area, and Doab is that area between the two rivers, then, and particularly he was thinking about the Ganga and Yamuna Doab. So he decided to raise the rate of the taxes in Ganga Yamuna Doab area, then, and in other areas rate of taxes could be lesser, but in this areas could be higher. So the moment he increased the rate of the land taxes in the Doab area, this area was struck by a famine, then, and a very severe famine. So when the officers, they were forcing people to pay the taxes, the public in the Ganga Yamuna Doab revolted. So when they revolted, he had a reality check, and then what he did, that rather than, here he did not become short tempered, he withdrew the high rate of taxes, and he came up with a famine code, that if in any area, that if the famine is coming and whatever be the rate of taxes, so some relaxation can be given. Then, so that famine code he came up with. That was the first part. Second was that Mongol threat is always looming on India. Then, because sons of the Genghis Khan, and they are still invading in the different directions. So there was a constant threat of the Mongol attack. At this time, what he has done, that he decided to avoid the Mongol attack, okay, on capital, because capital, once it is affected, so it is very difficult to resurrect the capital. So he wanted to transfer the capital of then Delhi Sultanate to the central location of India. Then, and his idea was that not only he will be able to avoid the Mongol attack in the capital, and so as he will be having a central location from where he can control the entire South Indian and North Indian territory. So for that he chose Daulatabad, that is Devgiri only. So Devgiri he has chosen, meaning that Yadava dynasty has completely subjugated by him. Then, so he chose Devgiri, and he renamed Devgiri as Daulatabad. Then, now when shifting has happened, then, so they countered a problem in Devgiri, and problem was that already there is a living population of Devgiri. उसके अलावा दिल्ली से आप इतनी सारी population लेके चले गए, then, and water resources were very scarce in Devgiri. It was not for every, there was not a plenty of water, so there was scarcity of water, and moreover there is a people, when they live in Delhi, they complain about the Delhi's pollution, Delhi's weather, but once the people go away from Delhi, they feel nostalgic about Delhi. So that is what I too have felt then. So they feel nostalgic about Delhi. So all the nobles of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they started feeling nostalgic about Delhi, and there came a moment when Sultan himself felt nostalgic about Delhi. So now they decided that we will have to go back to Delhi. But here also, I will tell you one brutal story. Then, so brutal or not so, that he was very unmindful of what can happen. When he passed instruction that everybody from Delhi will have to go to that Daulatabad. So one old man who was partially blind, he came to Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and then he said that I must be given some that privilege or concession that I must live in Delhi, because like, I am partially blind, I cannot walk up to that place. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq said to him that you don't need to worry about it. We will make all the arrangement that how you would be taken. So he gave instruction that he must be taken to Daulatabad, and how he was taken. His leg was tied to a horse and he was dragged entirely to Daulatabad. What reached to Daulatabad was the leg, not the person. Then, so insensitivities were very high. Then, if you remember from Sufi chapter of the this art and culture, have I shared something with you? Sufism वाला किस बैच में हुआ है? सारे बैचेस में तो हो चुका है आई थिंक ना. आर्ट एंड कल्चर तो कंप्लीट हो गया ना तुम्हारे बैच में. आई मे नॉट हैव शेयर्ड द स्टोरी बट आई विल शेयर दिस टाइम. ठीक है, या तो वहां पे बता देता हूँ या फिर यहाँ पे, क्योंकि पता नहीं होता है ना कि आर्ट एंड कल्चर के बाद एंशिएंट मिडवल मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. तो इट ऑल मतलब ये लॉटरी टाइप सा सिस्टम हो चुका है कि वेयर आई वुड बी गोइंग, वेयर आई वुड नॉट बी गोइंग. आर्ट एंड कल्चर में थोड़ी कन्फर्मिटी होती है कि 90% ऑफ बैचेस आई विल बी टेकिंग देन. सो that Nizamuddin Aulia, as one of the disciple of Nizamuddin Aulia, was Nasiruddin Chirag. Then, and Nasiruddin Chirag was the one who was called as Chirag Delhi. Okay? So Nasiruddin Chirag also said to Muhammad bin Tughlaq that he must be given some sort of concession, so that he must live in Delhi and he must serve his guru Nizamuddin Aulia. But then that Muhammad bin Tughlaq allowed him. He said that if you really want to serve your guru, to serve me also. Then, so by the time if I am not in Delhi, so what you will do, that you will clean my lavatory. What is lavatory? His washroom. Then, so his washroom. You will be cleaning my washroom on daily basis, and then moreover, do the chowkidari of Delhi. So that's how Nasiruddin Chirag daily, all that on regular basis, daily basis, he was taking a lamp and he was doing the chowkidari of Delhi. So when he returned back, Muhammad bin Tughlaq returned back, he repented. Because he was that kind of personality ki kabhi kuch. Then, so now he repented. Then, and then he himself said that you are really the lamp of Delhi. Then, so he understood that guy, that he was not normal guy, but he was something ordained for something big. So that is also one story, that Nasiruddin Chirag's story. So this experiment failed. They returned back to Delhi. Now, ab iske alawa, there are two more experiments where he failed. One is Khorasan expedition and Kurachil expedition. और उसके अलावा एक और है token currency issue. तो पहले इतना लिखो, mention करो that during his lifetime, MBT took many initiatives. MBT took many initiatives. And he failed in many of them. Which are as follows. Number one. He decided to increase the rate of taxes. In Ganga Yamuna. Rate of taxes in Ganga Yamuna Doab area. In Ganga Yamuna Doab area. Fine. But unfortunately, this area got struck by very severe famine. Full stop. When people were forced to pay the taxes, they revolted. When people were forced to pay the taxes, they revolted. In this scenario, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, MBT, came up with famine code to provide relief to people. Number two, mention. So title लिख सकते हो, transfer of capital. Mention. Muhammad bin Tughlaq wanted to create a central capital from where he can easily manage the affairs of from where he can easily manage the affairs of North and South India. North and South India. He also wanted to protect. He also wanted to protect his capital from Mongol threat. His capital from Mongol threat. He decided to shift capital from Delhi. He decided to shift capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Delhi to Daulatabad. Fine. Then mention. But this experiment failed. But this experiment failed due to scarcity of water in Daulatabad. Due to scarcity of water in Daulatabad. Daulatabad. And nobles of Delhi Sultanate started to feel nostalgic about Delhi. Started to feel nostalgic about Delhi. Fine. So nostalgic about Delhi. Now you write these two experiments, and then after third you write token currency. Then we'll write Kurachil and Khorasan expedition. So what is token currency part? See, there was silver tanka was the official currency, and all over the world there was scarcity of silver. Right? So scarcity of silver, now that nobody is getting the good supply, and India में तो वैसे भी silver के mines ही नहीं है. So now to tackle the problem of the scarcity of silver, he decided to release token currency of copper on the face value of silver. And so token currency of copper on the face value of silver. What does it mean? Ki 10 gram copper will be equivalent to 10 gram silver. This is what face value thing. So it was a good move, intelligent move then. And what we use right now, that is a token currency only. 500 रुपए का नोट 500 रुपए का तो होता नहीं है. It becomes 500 रुपए का note by the backing of the RBI, ठीक है, and a bond of the government. Then so that's what makes it price 500, but its price is not worth more than 10 rupees. Then so that's what is over. It's an intelligent move. But the problem of this initiative is that the officers who were interested with this task of creating the token currency, they were also involved in the forging of currency. Okay? So in the forging of currency, and moreover, then it is said that near about 30% households then in Delhi, they were involved in the duplication of currency. Okay? So Gafar market पूरे दिल्ली में बन गया था. So that's what. So this experiment also failed because of the forging of currency. Then comes the next one is Kurachil expedition and Khorasan expedition. Kurachil is what? That Kurachil is the hilly area of the Himachal, okay, which is adjacent to the Tibet, the border sharing with the Tibet. So now what has happened that there were many nobles of the nobles of Muhammad bin Tughlaq who have taken a kind of that contempt of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq by saying something to him. So he got aggressive. He became aggressive on them to give them punishment. These nobles, they have fled to, they got some sort of asylum in Kurachil area. So now he decided to attack on Kurachil, to arrest them and to give a punishment to the Kurachil people also. Now when his army has entered into Kurachil, It was an extreme winter and they lost their way. They entered into Tibet and they harassed some of the people of the Tibet. That led to thorough beating of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq's army by the Tibetan people. And in fact, Tibetis chased them to Delhi. So there he got a defeat. Then comes Khorasan expedition. Khorasan is the area of Afghanistan going till the Central Asia. So starting from the Afghanistan and Central Asia, and isme kya tha that the ruler of the Khorasan, his death happened. After death, there was a war of succession, okay, among many contenders over there, and there was no settlement from many months. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq felt that it is the right time to attack on Khorasan, and then the territory of the Delhi Sultanate can be extended northwards, and Delhi then become central location. So for war, he started advanced recruitment. Then large number of people were recruited in the army, and to keep their motivation high, they were given 2 month advance salary. Once all things are done, once the moment came that they must be marching to Khorasan, the news came that all the warring partners in Khorasan, they have made a settlement and they have chosen their sultan to come together. Now war is over, no advantage. So this marching did not continue, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq incurred heavy losses. Then, in fact, it is said that he started demanding the advance salary which has been given, but people fled with the salaries, then not to be traceable at any place. So that's how he incurred heavy losses. So these were the 5 experiments in which he has failed. But there were other experiments where he was, I would not say fail or successful, but those were also good initiatives. So mention karo pehle, in this part you write that there was scarcity of silver. There was scarcity of silver all over the world. Scarcity of silver all over the world. Then, in this scenario, scarcity of silver all over the world. In this scenario, Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to issue copper currency on the face value of silver. Copper currency on the face value of silver. Face value of silver. Fine. Then mention face value of silver. This was an intelligent move. But it failed. Due to duplication of currency. It failed due to duplication of currency. ठीक है, फिर टोकन करेंसी के बाद देन थर्ड के बाद फोर्थ यू राइट कुराचिल एक्सपेडिशन. Then, so in this you write to punish some of the offenders. MBT launched Kurachil expedition in Himachal. Fine. Then mention. But due to extreme cold weather, his army lost the way. And entered into lost the way and entered into Tibet. Entered into Tibet. Full stop. His army was thoroughly crushed by Tibetan forces. Thoroughly crushed by Tibetan forces. Fine. Next, number 5. Khorasan expedition. Khorasan expedition. इसमें लिखो. Khorasan was the kingdom in Afghanistan and Central Asia. Khorasan was the kingdom in Afghanistan and Central Asia.